Hello, travelers. This is going to be a Scorpio season reading. We are in Scorpio season, and whether you are a Scorpio or not, we all have a little scorpion in us. If you like the truth, if you want to know more deeply about what's going on, if you suspect some things happening, if you sometimes if the truth is more important, is what am I trying to say? If the truth hurts, but the truth is more important than the actual pain that you feel, then this could be the idea of having a bit of Scorpio in you, okay? We all do. Whether we are, no matter what your sun sign is, we all can embody the different signs in different ways. Even if you don't have anything in the 8th house or the sign of Scorpio, okay? So, I'm going to be using the Hermetic Tarot. I haven't used these in a while, and I really do like these cards because they actually give a more, I don't know, for lack of a better term, holistic look at the energies that may be surrounding us, that everybody could be, under the influence of. We do have, everyone on Earth is under the influence of the South Node in Scorpio. And so we're going to be looking at, just open the cards and see what they say. Now, before I get started, there's a few announcements I want to make. Get the business out of the way. I'm going to be ending my website at the end of this month. That means that if you click on the link or you try to go to my website, it won't be up on the web anymore. If you are wanting to book a reading with me, you're going to contact me through my email. So if you go to the About Box section of the channel, you should see my email there. You can click it and then submit an email and, tell me, what type of reading you're looking for. And I think what I'm going to do is over in the About Box section, I'll place the reading packages with the prices, okay? And that way you can see it. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get that information. I do feel that I'll be bringing the website back next year. And that's twofold. I know that you guys, some of you have been waiting for me to do my classes. Well, I completed the classes and then I logged into the website yesterday to do a bit of tidying up before it goes offline, and discovered that the courses portion of the website has been deactivated. The developer has decided that they don't want to allow legacy users, which I am, because I've been using MemberPress, 6-7 years, and they're trying to come up with another way. So that means that the courses, all the work that I've done, is no longer accessible, no matter what. Even if I kept the website up, it won't be accessible. And so I just feel that, between what's been happening with my health and with that, I just feel that, we'll just have to wait and see. But I will be, I think, redesigning the website for next year. There won't be articles. It will simply be a place where you can come purchase readings. And, that's pretty much it. And I'll probably have the courses up there once they decide whatever it is that they're going to do with it. So, again, for you who've just heard me say this, just because the website doesn't exist anymore doesn't mean that I will not be doing readings. I will still be doing readings, okay? That's why I think it's important, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, to please go ahead and sign up. You can go to the channel art and find the Substack icon, click on that, and that'll take you over. You can sign up to Tarot to Go, okay? Other than that, excuse me, my Apple Watch came, which has given me a lot more confidence to just get up and get out and do some things. I am receiving the fall detection equipment from the VA. However, it only works if I'm conscious. If I'm not conscious, this is going to save me. So I feel a little bit better, particularly knowing that kind of what the diagnosis is. Even though the doctor hasn't given it to me officially, I was able to read it in the report and understand it, which is one of the first times I've ever been able to read a medical report and understand it. I haven't seen the pictures yet. Even though I have access to them, I just haven't looked at the pictures of the brain and the spine and all of that stuff. So it's not MS. It is a deep brain stroke syndrome. Apparently 15 to 25% of the population has this. It is treatable. I don't know how it's going to be treated. If it's like they're going to be giving me blood thinners, I don't know. In which case, I've been taking aspirin anyway because I have chronic high blood pressure. I've had it ever since I got pregnant with Hannah. And so, we'll just have to see how that goes. I can say that sometimes I can go several days without having a tremor, and then I might have 3 or 4. Not triggered by anything. It's not like me standing up or bending over. I can literally just be sitting down and it will occur. And so that's the scary part of it, is I don't know. I kind of get a warning when it comes or when it's about to happen. But because it's just so random, that's the scary part of it. And so I just thought it was important that I try to protect myself as best I can. I got out and walked the dogs for the first time yesterday. Didn't take them far, but it's been a month and a half before I've been able to walk my dogs, I've got winter veg to plant out. I planted some trees the other day. I've got, I think, probably 8, 9 more trees I want to get in the ground. And so, I can't stop living my life or living my life in fear. Let me put it that way. Living your life in fear is a horrible thing. And so I don't want to live my life in fear. Anyway, that's the news. I will continue posting. And since the website is going down at the end of this month, right? I'm going to be posting all 12 zodiac signs, the general readings, here to YouTube. All right. So it just won't be the elementals anymore. It's going to be all 12 signs. And again, you can contact me using my email. Okay. So I think that's everything I wanted to say to you for the time being. And we're going to get started with the reading. I've already done some meditation and shuffling on the Scorpion sign and glyph. And I'm not going to reshuffle these cards. They don't take to a lot of shuffling. So let me turn the camera around, and there won't be any clarifiers, at least I don't think so. And then we will, depending on what the story is, we'll determine what the oracle card will be, okay? All right. I want to thank all of you guys who've been sending me well wishes over on Twitter, and you've sent me emails and all kinds of great stuff. I really, really appreciate it, and it has helped me a lot. I was kind of ambivalent about shutting down the website, but at this point, it's just become too much for me to handle. And, sometimes things happen to us in life and we have to adapt. So, all right, here we go. It's going to be a 9-card spread. The 9 of Swords. Okay. Now, these cards have another meaning to them, and you can't see them, but I will read it to you. It is called the Lord of Cruelty. I don't know if you can see that. The Emperor, known as the Son of Mourning, Morning, not mourning like being in mourning. The Universe, or the World card, which is called the Great One of the Night of Time. The 6 of Wands, which is known as the Lord of Victory. That's quite interesting. We have the 2 of Swords, known as the Lord of Peace Restored. Okay. The 7 of Cups, known as the Lord of Illusory Success. The 7 of Pentacles, the Lord of Success Unfulfilled. The Foolish Man, or the Spirit of Ether. And the 10 of Pentacles, the Lord of Wealth. That's quite interesting. So what do I have? I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana, 1 sword, 1 cup, 1 wand, and 2 pentacles. All right. It's quite interesting. So it still holds true that the major arcana cards hold more sway than the pip cards. Okay. What is over the entire reading? Well, it is the Queen of Swords, known as the Queen of the Thrones of Air. As you can see, she's holding a head with her sword over her shoulder. That relates to the book of Judith. Judith in Holofernes. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. And he was an Assyrian general under King Nebuchadnezzar. And he laid siege to this particular town. And Judith crept into the camp, told Holofernes that he was going to be victorious, poured him some wine, got him drunk, and while he was asleep, she beheaded him, thereby saving the town and winning the war. So that is the story of Judith. However, in this instance, I feel what the card represents is this idea of using your intellect to solve a problem. Sometimes it could be the metaphorical beheading of someone or something. But it is also the idea that even cunning is logic, right? So let's put that to the side for a moment. I feel that for some of you that you have been in a place mentally, particularly, where you perhaps have felt that there is no hope, or there's been a lot of worry, fear, and anxiety. I feel for some of you, this absolutely has to do with a male figure in your life. Here we have the Emperor, who can represent your father or a father-like figure to you. It may be the father of your children. It could also be your boss or someone that you are dealing with in a quote-unquote work capacity. Okay. For others of you, if this does not resonate, then what this Emperor is about is the idea of embodying mastery and control over your circumstances. But I feel that for some of you, it's been a very difficult thing. A lot of distraction. Okay, here we have Mars and Gemini, and we do have Mars and Gemini going on right now. So there's a lot of fighting words in the air, tense words in the air, tension being spoken, literally hanging about in the air that we can feel it. We know what's happening over in Ukraine. We know what's happening in England. We know that the rhetoric is ramping up around our midterm elections here in America. Then we heard Xi Jinping jump up. And then we saw, what's 45's boyfriend over there in North Korea? He's been firing off missiles. There's stuff happening all around the world. You've got uprisings in Iran. So there's stuff happening all around the world. And there's this tense, terse energy, warlike, fighting words, things happening at a rapid pace. Gemini also rules mental energy. So this could be the idea of you perhaps getting angry very quickly. But if you stop and think about it in a rational way, you can't really identify what the source is, okay? The universe or the world card comes to tell me that a change will be coming. So we're looking at past, present, future interplay of the cards. Here in the past, I see that perhaps some of you have overcome this, the Lord of Victory, through sheer will and determination, particularly if you've been extremely stressed out. And I think everybody's kind of stressed out at the moment. But yet, here with the Seven of Pentacles, it's this idea, the Lord of success unfulfilled. You know, maybe you're out, you're doing stuff, and you think whatever it is you're doing is working. It's you're going to see results from it. But then the Lord of success unfulfilled comes to say that it's not as successful as you think it is. And in effect, whatever it is you've been doing, you're not seeing any results or rewards from it. Okay? Not yet, anyway. Across the center, the Lord of victory. Again, this focus and determination of overcoming. Before it was 6, it was a 5. Some kind of fight or strife or competition. And then we come to the Lord of peace restored. So from the 9 to the 2 gives me 7 swords, right? Remember I was talking to you about the idea of truth, finding out what the truth is, or even if it hurts, but also recognizing that whatever your truth is may not be true for someone else. The Lord of peace restored. That's a 2 of swords. So this is the idea that either you have been able to come to some type of agreement with someone. Maybe you've been able to make up with someone. Or maybe you've just decided that, you know what, I'm not going to let whatever this is bother me. Okay? Peace restored. And we're talking about mental peace here. Okay? The sign of Libra is in between. See that? Okay? Balance. Now, we come to the 7 of Cups. And this is the Lord of illusory success. So we come to a place where we think, you know, we've made up, I'm at peace with that, or I'm going to just kind of put it to the side for a moment. But then we find out that that's really not good enough for us emotionally. I think what I like the most about this particular card, there's a hand here, and it's holding this, all of the stems of the flowers are in this one cup. But yet we see the flowers continuing to try and drink. So this is the idea of trying to fulfill whatever it is that we feel that we are feeling. We're trying to reconcile what we are feeling. And maybe it is an idea for us to look at what we're feeling about a certain situation and why that is, because it may not be true. It could be a distraction, so to speak. Okay? We talked about the Lord of success unfulfilled. This idea that, you know, everything I've been doing, or the way that I'm working, or the money that I'm making, or what I'm putting it in, or what I'm purchasing, what I'm buying, because that's what the pentacles are. It's not just finances. It is the idea of doing something. It represents the 3rd dimensional plane. You know, it's just not working for me. Then we come to the spirit of ether. Now, the foolish man. Well, the foolish man kind of doesn't know. He's not aware necessarily of all of the pitfalls, right? And he just kind of maybe charges ahead anyway, despite what anybody says to him. Perhaps he doesn't necessarily think things through, but, you know, he's got faith and belief. However, I feel that this particular card, the Spirit of Ether, is the idea of originality. It is the idea of embodying the energy of air, removing the emotions from something so that you can see clearly whatever it is you need to see. There's something else he's trying to tell me, and I'm going to have to grab the book so I can pull up one of the keywords for it. But the idea is also the foolish man, it's a 0. It is the sum of all things and the sum of nothing, right? It is the shape of a circle or the shape of an egg contained within itself. It is a perfect kind of a shape. But it can also stand for a new beginning, taking a literal trip, not in the sense that you're going to go someplace. These cards don't speak in the same language as the what do you call it? The Radiant White deck. But when I say the literal taking of a trip, this is starting out on a new journey in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or do, whatever your idea is. And if you can do that, you can embody the energy of the Spirit of Ether. We find that you come to the Lord of Wealth, a completion. It is a 10. So even here, Remember, this is a big change, a huge change coming at the end of a cycle. And even though it may be a bit confusing for you right now, I do feel for some of you, you're going to come or end up or land in exactly the place that you need to be in, or that you've been working towards. If I go from the Lord of Success unfulfilled to the Lord of Wealth, from the 7 to the 10 gives me 3 pentacles. Okay, so it could go back to this idea of having to negotiate something with someone. I want to see, there's another word here. I will be pulling a Sabila on him. Let's see. This is the Mercury card. And it says wisdom, skill, adaptation, originality, and self-confidence. Okay? And so this tells me that at some point throughout the month of November, you will arrive in a place, you will come to a realization about whatever this is. Okay? These are your spiritual lessons. Accepting that things happen. There are cycles of change. Things come to an end. Okay? Accepting that, you know, maybe it's going to take more work and determination and focus and passion than you realized. But yet when you get to that place, you're like, you know, this still isn't what I want. This still doesn't feel right. This still isn't what I was aiming for. Okay? And to me, I think if I had to pick one flower out of this one, and I don't know if you can see it well, all of these flowers, the faces are turned towards the cups, whereas this one is showing us its face. Sorry, you can't really see that. But this flower is showing us its face. And so this is the idea of, you know, facing those things that you really don't need, coming to the truth that maybe some of the things that you maybe are emotionally tied to or emotionally invested in really aren't that important, and discovering the real face of what your emotion is. What is it really that you want? What are you looking for? Okay. Now I'm going to pull one set of cards, and so back to Judith. Maybe for some of you, this will require some cunning, some sleight of hand, some outmaneuvering, mental outmaneuvering. I'm going to take a look at this Emperor here. And I feel that Saturn in this card, in the World card, has come to kind of temper that Martian, see Mars and Aries, that energy a bit. Okay? To say, you know, slow down. Things are going to change, but slow down. This card represents Jupiter and the North Node. Your luck and success, but also the direction in which you should be going. Mercury and Scorpio. Money-making ideas, or a way to reconcile what your fears are. I'm sorry, that's Venus, not Mercury. No, that's Mercury. Yeah, no, that's Venus. Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio can be this idea of being obsessed with things, being too attached to things, but none of it is bringing you any pleasure. So if I had to pick a card, I'm going to look at this Emperor, because he just kind of feels out of place to me. The Dottore, King of Wands. The Allegria, pastime with family, happiness with family and friends. Conversazione. Now, 3 relatively positive cards, okay? The Dottore is typically a male with a degree, someone who can help. This is the connotation. He can be any kind of degreed professional, Okay. But in the context of, let's say, a neutral context, it is the idea of someone who is willing to help, to provide help and assistance, be this through actual doing, maybe giving advice. Sometimes he can show up in the sense where it says that you might be involved with someone and the only reason you're with this person is because you may be trying to fix them of some kind of issue or whatnot. But this card to me kind of gives a warning. This is the idea that where you go to gather to be merry. Maybe you go socially and hang out with your friends. Maybe you meet somebody. Maybe you meet this emperor. Okay? But the warning of the card here is that the person may be a fair weather friend. So if you are considering doing business or having any type of relationship with this person, you do want to be cautious. We see, remember I was talking to you about the negotiation? We see that here. The negotiations, the conversation. Again, this is the idea of people gathered around at a table to speak about things. So this could be having lunch or having dinner. This is more like a bar or a pub kind of a situation. It could be even like a family gathering, a barbecue, something of that nature. But then we see that it moves to a more intimate type of setting, having a conversation. This holds the promise of good things to come. But I would say with this particular card, you do wish to be careful, okay? Because it could be somebody who's a fair weather friend. Doesn't necessarily mean that maybe they don't have some good advice that you can take. But it may mean that, you know, if you join forces with this person, it's not gonna end up in the manner in which you think you are, but that nevertheless, for lack of a better term, you may be richer for it. Okay. I'm also going to look at this Queen of Swords here. Because it is simply the idea of, let me find this, they've got it broken up in different, let's see here, where are the court cards? Here. The card says that if you need to embody this energy, perceptive, observant, subtle, quick, confident, and graceful. And this literally could be that maybe there may be an opportunity presented to you that you may have to jump on rather quickly, whatever that may mean for you. Okay. And so I'm going to pull cards on her. Maybe you've been feeling all embattled. Okay. And so to counter whatever this mental energy is, maybe you need to cut the head off the monster. Okay? And conquer it. Remember, that's what the swords are all about. It's mental energy. Fear, despair, and cruelty. Maybe you think that somebody's done you wrong. The letterato. To me, this represents the idea of having to go meet somebody. This is the man, right? He's smart, he's bookish, and he's waiting to speak to someone. Okay, so this could be, again, an idea of perhaps seeking advice or getting advice from someone, going to meet someone. The pensiero. Again, the meditation. And then there's the consolante sorpresa. And this is the idea that maybe you went looking for something and you didn't find exactly what you were looking for. Okay. But nevertheless, there's something good in it. The results come as though they've been fished out of water. Okay. But I think it's going to depend on this. Being observant, being quick, perhaps even being cunning. Perhaps, what's the word? Jumping the gun, beating somebody to the punch. Okay. All right. Whatever that disembodied head means for you. So, I'm going to pull a Psychic Oracle Tarot. Is what I'm going to pull. I don't necessarily feel that this is a romantic relationship, simply because there's only one cup. This is really a, what do you call it? A spiritual lesson for you, is what it's all about. How you're going to approach it. And by approaching it in a particular manner, one that works for you, you will overcome whatever this Nine of Swords is for you, or started to be. I will say, looking here, for some of you, it will be okay. For others of you, it may not be, again, that phrase, may not be exactly what you want. But nevertheless, you can arrive in a better place. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Here's your card. Well, it is another Fool card. New beginnings. Okay, there it is, the new beginnings. Let's see if I can prop it up a little higher. There we go. So this whole reading has all of this air energy around it. Each and every journey begins with the all-important first step. When this card presents itself in a reading, it is confirming that it is time for you to take a brave leap of faith. But be prepared as you do so. This card represents that a great new adventure is awaiting you. It usually shows up when there is a significant inner change happening within you. This card appearing is a sign that those important choices are needed and are about to be made and should be carefully pondered as you proceed with wisdom. Second time you've heard that word, thought, and care. Life is constantly trying to nudge and move you forward. At times, it can be daunting when you are faced with a new adventure or direction. Therefore, it calls for inner belief and courage as you take that leap of faith and step into the unknown. During this time, do not be alarmed if you feel lost or even confused. Most people are afraid of change and play it safe by staying where they are. Know that through inner guidance, wisdom, and a belief in yourself, and by tapping into these tools, you will be propelled forward on a positive, life-changing path. Do not conform to what society or other individuals expect of you at this time. Originality, individuality. This is your own adventure. During this time, be like an innocent child with fresh eyes and give yourself permission to live, play, love, and above all, laugh. Okay? So, remember I was saying that this is the idea about using perhaps cunning or simply making the decision to step forward and do something. Again, to me, this disembodied head is this idea of something bothering you. Something that you feel is oppressing you. Something that you feel you've been battling or you think you've been battling. Okay? But then, like Judith, instead of just sitting around, she just marched right into the camp and did what she had to do. And sometimes we have to do those things, regardless of what anybody else says or thinks. Okay? It's about walking your own path and your own road and doing so with confidence, even if you don't know where the hell you're going or what you're really doing. Okay? Kind of making it up as you go along. Sometimes that's what you have to do. And so I hope that message helped you guys. Until next time, be well, stay safe. I'm working, starting on the November general readings, and they're going to be posted up pretty soon. I got time. So until then, bye.